Well, let me first thank the defense lawyers for standing firm and together to ensure that our colleagues, Honorable Dr. Kizza Besigye and Haji Obed Kamrege, have their rights to choose who represents them stands. I think today the statement the defense has made is good, and all peace-loving Ugandans, all Ugandans who want to see the rule of law, need to understand that 2001, when General Museveni had an electoral case in court, he was represented by Kaminwa. Kaminwa is a Kenyan. He had 100 lawyers on his team as precedent. 2 weeks ago, I saw a panel of leaders of East Africa, presidents. General Museveni was one of those. He is fond of talking about integration. I saw him doing analysis of what has caused weakness on this continent, and he was referring the chiefs of the fast, which he does all the time. For East Africa to be united, for Africa to be united, leadership at the top is very, very critical. You walk the talk. You don't say all the nice things, and your actions contradict what you talk about in public. There's absolutely no reason why, when Dr. Kizza Besigye and Haji Obed Kamrege choose to have Honorable Martha Karua to be the lead counsel, and it becomes a problem. I absolutely don't see any reason why. Every cloud has a silver lining. Our colleagues now are going to be in prison maybe for the next, now by 7th of January, it could have been like 2 months. Of course, they're going through a lot of pain. The silver lining in that you stood firm, keeps on exposing this government to masquerade in life is not good. When you are masquerading, the longer a process takes, the more your real colors come out, because people see contradiction between theory, what you talk about, and practice, what you do. So much as the two colleagues are going to suffer, it's good that time keeps on exposing these people in government. My advice, those who are in government, many of whom are colleagues because we serve together, no government is permanent. All of them leave power at some point. So I keep repeating what I keep raising all the time. When you arrest a retired officer, Major Iduri, yes. Iduri, he served honorably in the military. He retired. He has a right to represent whoever contracts him to represent him. You go and abduct him. I would like to ask all the officers who are in uniform, including the generals at the top, what do you think? When you honorably serve, many of them have been shot at, many of them have been wounded. They have continued serving this country because many of them love to see justice, love to see peace, love to see a country which is developing. But when you have served and you have left, your own colleagues who are still in uniform come and treat you the way they treated that major. I don't even know him, I've never interacted with him. What does that mean to you who are still in uniform? What does that mean? That we make sacrifices for a country. That even when you get out of uniform, you have got rights like any other individual. You don't have to be on the side of the regime. You do whatever you want to do. That's the country we want to see. My advice, those who are in government, be sure that as day follows night, there's going to be a day when you want to be in those offices. I appeal to you, do things now when you are still in government that will enable you to leave uniform and offices, ministries, whatever, so that you can find a country where there is justice. Whatever you are doing, that you have got rights and freedoms that are going to be protected by the law, not by any individual. Not by any individual. We thank you, members of the press.
Thank you.
Right is might. That's what many people don't understand. Right is might. So the Ugandans who are terrified and they keep on withdrawing and say, oh, things are dragging on, things are dragging on. This is our country. This is our country. The only way we can shape the future to be as we desire it to be is to keep firm, including those who are in government. And to it's unfortunate this happened in a neighboring country, Kenya, which we have all always felt secure in. What they did now, imagine, exemplifies what happened more than 30 years ago. That's the last time a senior politician was abducted from Kenya. That was the late Mzee Barakiria in Nairobi. That was the second UPC government. When they abducted him from Nairobi, we know, those of us who were in the bush by that time, all our external committees scattered. They ran out of Nairobi and they went to Sweden. They need to ask themselves, really, you want the same thing to happen 30 years thereafter? Finally, I see the law of cumulative effect unfolding. So we should not lose heart. Even those who were in Syria for 50 years never thought that Assad and his family would never get out of power. 1 week is nowhere to be seen. That's what the law of cumulative effect does. Those who are in government need to understand how it operates. Those who understand how it operates, I suspect will sober up. May God bless you all.
Before she takes over, what about the third media event?